yeah, so I really like the new Aladdin movie. A lot. Girl, when I saw Jafar, I was like, ooh. You know, thinking about it, Aladdin is a manipulative, pathological liar. So I'm just like, who needs him to win? Joe Daddy? Yes, please. Jafar, nah, I need you to come too close. Hey guys, welcome to another exciting episode of Rough on Uncut, behind the same take look on everyday life. A one-take podcast where I basically just shoot the shit with you guys to get to know you guys, you get to know me, we touch each other, and it's fun, we lick each other's nipples, we call it a day. So today I want to talk about something that I struggle with. I know you guys struggle with. Everyone struggles with. Everyone has something going on. If you ever feel like you feel left out because you have something wrong with you, and you feel like you don't really fit in, and you don't really belong in a certain place, or like people don't really get you, trust me. Everybody has their own shit going on. Everybody has something, even if it's not the same thing you're going through. It's something very, very similar. And so today I'm going to talk about something important to me, and that's depression and mental health. Like, if you guys don't know, I've mentioned this before in a couple of videos. I have a huge, long history of suffering from depression. It's much better handled now than it was before. Actually, ever since I really moved out and just established my own identity and where I'm going and my own sense of worth and my own sense of purpose, I've been doing great. But before all that, I did have like really bad breakdowns and really bad struggles where there are days where I just didn't want to wake up. There's days where I didn't want to move. There's days where I didn't want to eat. There's days where I couldn't just fathom the idea of possibly living on and living forward and seeing the next day. It was worse in high school. High school, girl. You know how like in high school everyone's an emotional mess because everyone's just like, oh my god, is Brad gonna ask me to prom today? Just like, oh my god, like no one that really notices me. I'm just like not like most girls. I'm just their average typical girl that no one really cares about. I'm just like I get average grades and I'm not the prettiest or the smartest. And there's Brad Breinstein, the most popular boy at school, and he'll never notice me. Yeah, everyone has like their own like identity thing going on in high school. But yeah, for me in high school, even though like I was very like outgoing and very just like social when you came to talk to me, or just like I always wanted to like make people laugh, and that's always been my thing. I love making people laugh. That's why I started doing YouTube actually. Originally because I love making people laugh. I love bringing entertainment to their lives. I didn't have to follow like an algorithm or follow like trends or all that other bullshit. But I'll do a whole video on YouTube later. But for this, even though like I was like outgoing and just like really social with people, on the inside I felt terrible. I always felt like I didn't deserve to live. I didn't deserve happiness. I didn't deserve anything I wanted. I convinced myself that my life was meant to serve others and not myself. Like it was my duty to help others and put everyone else before me because I didn't deserve anything. And it just left me with like such an empty feeling inside. It made me feel worthless, and it made me feel like I didn't have a sense of purpose. I didn't have anything to live for. And yeah, I did have like suicidal thoughts and suicidal tendencies. I didn't do any self-harm, but I thought that it would be more of a punishment to myself to let myself live than it would be to kill myself. That is it. We got dark real fast, girl. But yeah, that's how it was for me with depression. And it got better when I got to college and I actually got to form my own identity and get out there and just like really establish life. And then it did come in waves, like when I came back home, where like some days I was fine and other days it just like hits you like that. And that's the worst thing about depression. It happens randomly sometimes, like regardless of whether you're having like a great day or anything. Like the other day, like I had like a little, not like a huge breakdown before, but just like I had that feeling of just like numbness and this like self-loathing. It was like I was having a great day. I was with my family. We're having a great time. We enjoyed the whole day, but I don't know why. I just felt like I didn't deserve to be happy. I didn't deserve happiness. I didn't deserve anything, and I was worthless. And I just got that random wave. I mean, I got out of it much better than I did before. Like, girl, I'm sweating. It's fucking 90 degrees. Sorry about that if you're listening to the podcast, but if you're watching on YouTube, you see I'm glistening like a damn baked turkey. But yeah, I just had that wave of just worthlessness, and it comes out of nowhere. Sometimes it's triggered. And a big trigger for me with depression would be I struggle a lot with a lot of things. more than I let people know, more than I actually tell people. But a big thing that happens when I get depressed is that I get overwhelmed with loneliness. Like I feel there's one thing about being alone. There's being alone, and then there's feeling lonely. And feeling lonely is like one of the worst things. For me personally, I guess. Like I'm alone now. I live alone. I do everything alone. I go to the movies by myself sometimes. Like I go to the store by myself. I'm fine. I talk to myself all the damn time. God, I'm going crazy. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna get schizophrenia. It's just me. I'm gonna form a new identity, and then that's it. We're gonna be best buds and have our own sitcom. But yeah, I do a lot of things alone, which is fine. I'm good with that. But it's the moments where you feel lonely, and it's funny because like the moments where I felt the most loneliest was when I'm out with groups of people, or when I was living with my family. It was, weirdly enough, it was just like I think it was because I put so much sense of focusing on everyone else and focusing on everyone else's identity that I broke into an accent. Sorry. Focusing so much on everyone else's identity and making sure everyone else was happy, making sure everyone else was like doing great, that I put myself so much in the back seat that I felt worthless to myself. I just didn't feel like I had a sense of purpose. I didn't have any identity for myself. And it caused me to feel lonely. It caused me to feel loneliness, and that's when I also like a couple of years ago. That's when I had my hoe phase, because like I was seeking companionship from another person just because I wanted intimacy. I needed intimacy. I needed to be with someone. I needed to be like attached to somebody in some sort of way. Like I felt that. Like I needed somebody to be with me. Now I'm just like, don't touch me, don't talk to me. I don't know you. Text message read 4 days ago. I don't care. Whatever. I'm kind of a dick now, but yeah, it's a big improvement than how I've been before. Um, and it's been better. It's been better. I've been doing great. I spent a lot of time last June after I was in a situationship with somebody. And it ended just spontaneously. And then the minute I did, I was still sending booty hole videos to my ex, who was happily taking them, but was saying just like, "Hey, baby, I love you," and then really in real life, he's just out there with other people. Yeah, so I didn't like I was having so much things going on, and then things was just like finding my apartment and just having to move and just like all these other things going on. I had to go to therapy. I just had to like talk to somebody, talk things out with somebody, and we talked a lot. We talked about struggles I've had growing up, just my self, not self-loathing, but just like my search for self-identity and trying to find myself. Um, relationships with my father, relationship with my mother, their whole debacle, and then a whole big thing with just like me and my previous relationships, and why I formed. So if you haven't noticed, if you dated me, if you're one of the unfortunate souls who dated me, sorry about that. Like after my last ex, I put up a lot of emotional walls. I don't get attached to people easily. I think the last, like, when I was in that situationship, we were like friends that talked consistently for like 6 months before I was just like, you know what? Okay, maybe this can be something more. And then after that, we just stopped talking. It takes me a while to actually develop feelings for a person. And it's really rare that I actually do develop like intimate feelings for a person. It's always platonic. Until something happens, but it takes a lot of time, and usually people are just like gone by then for something that happened. I have a lot of I have a lot of guard up. I have a lot of barriers. I don't form a lot of intimate connections with people. I just don't. Um, it's all right. I kind of live with it. It's like whatever. But yeah, I was like going through a lot of therapy, and it just talking to somebody just really helped. And I know a lot of people are afraid to talk to somebody because they always think that somebody thinks that they're crazy, or just like, they'll never amount to anyone, or just like no one ever gets them. And trust me, people get you. Even like my therapist, she didn't really like. She was learning as I was learning. Like we were really like reflecting off each other. Like I had knowledge of psychology because I've read psychology books for years, and just like I would read it for fun because I'm a fucking weirdo. So I had knowledge of psychology, and just like it bounced back on her, and we had to just go back and forth and have a conversation on just like what exactly, not what was wrong with me, but what I can do to handle situations better, or what I can do to actually improve my lifestyle. And I was like, that was great. And I haven't had like a giant breakdown. I actually had like a log list, which I still keep with me on my phone, a log list of just like times I've had breakdowns where when I have an episodic breakdown, I shut everyone out. That's the first thing I do. I shut everyone out. I keep to myself. When I'm in public, I still put on like the front, just like I'm happy, I'm high energetic, like oh my god, bitch, we're gonna have a great day. And I'm just like I'm gonna kill everyone. I'm gonna kill myself. I'm so sad. And just like I'm like dying inside. And then as soon as I get home, or especially when I'm like driving in a car, this happens a lot. I just start bawling randomly. Just like I would just start crying and just talking myself out of that situation, trying to. But first, I put myself in an all time low. I feel so worthless and empty, and I tell myself that, and just like I just start spiraling, and I feel myself spiraling. There was one day where I was like, I had an episodic breakdown so bad that I had to pull off to the side of the road, and I just had to like cry for a good 10 minutes before I could move forward, and then I went straight to work and act like everything was fine, and it was so hard. I know a lot of people like deal with like different factors in mental health. Like I it took me a lot of time to get out of having like serious depression, severe depression. I wouldn't call it severe. I think there's been worse cases, and that's the thing too. It's just like I hate talking about my own mental health because I always demote it in comparison to other people, like worse experiences, or it's like I know people have like worse experiences than me. Then I always feel like it's like what, my situation's not bad. I'm just bitching for no reason, blah blah. And then that leads to me like spiraling and being just like, hey, just like you're complaining about nothing when other people are having struggles. So it's like you're just being a piece of shit right now when other people have serious issues, and it's a whole thing. It's just like I constantly put myself down all the time. The only time where I'm just like actually just like the only factors where just like I'm 100% just like okay with is just like my physical appearance, because like I don't have anything with like body image. I know that's a big thing with a lot of people. A lot of people struggle with their body image and just like they want to look a certain way. I've never had that, so that I kind of lucked out on. I literally just the reason why I work out, the reason why I go to the gym every day, and the reason why like I build muscle and everything and just like look the way I do is strictly because I working out and lifting heavy helps me with my mental health. It just helps me stay focused. It helps me It helps me set goals to something. It helps me want to do something and want to accomplish something. It just helps me and motivates me to actually like go forward in my life. So that's why I work out every day. And when I don't work out, which is something I'm trying to get out of too, when days I don't work out, I sometimes do fall into a depression. Like sometimes I do have breakdowns and like these little episodes, and I'm trying to have it so I'm not so dependent on working out anymore. Just because I go somewhere or do something, or just like I'm in an opportunity where I can't work out or can't go to the gym. But sometimes I'm okay, sometimes I'm not. So it's always a risk. So that's why I go to the gym every day. And the reason why like I look the way I do is just because it's something I have control over. It's like the one factor in my life I feel like I'm in 100% control, because it's like I feel like the only person like really stopping you from looking a certain way or doing a certain thing at the gym, or just like your physical appearance, for the most part, is yourself. Like I set my own diet, I set my own workout, I do these things so I can look a certain way. And I just feel like I'm in complete control, and I feel like that's the only thing in my life I have complete control over. Yeah, honestly, that's the one factor in my life. I'm just like I have complete control over this, and it's mine and mine alone. That's why I work out. I don't work out for other people. I don't work out to look a certain way for somebody else. I try to look how I want to look, because it's what I want, and it's the one thing in my life that I have control over, and it's the one thing in life that actually helps me with my mental health. Because setting goals is actually something really important for everybody, just in life. Because once you set goals, it gives you a reason to look forward to something, and to motivate you to keep going, and motivate you to be a better person, and motivate you to just make more of yourself. Like instead of having thoughts of just like, what if, you ended your life, or just like life's not great right now, or just like, feeling worthless and feeling helpless and feeling like, your life's not good enough. If you set a goal and you accomplish those goals, it doesn't even have to be a big goal. It's just like small goals, like daily goals. They help you. They really do. Like some people make their bed every day, just because it's a small goal that you accomplish in the morning, and that's something for themselves. Some people make to the gym. Some people make food and make time for breakfast. A lot of people don't eat. uh, but setting small goals for yourself is like the perfect thing to actually just like motivate you and make you feel accomplished. Like that's why they have little, like if you play the biggie games on the game systems, they have like awards and achievements like when you do certain levels, because it makes you feel like you won something, like you accomplished something, like you've done something. And that's really important for everybody, because it's just motivation for you and motivation for just trying to keep going. And I've had friends and relationships that had different things going on with them. Like my first boyfriend, Kevin. You guys know Kevin. It is Kevin. He has a lot really bad social anxiety, or he's gotten so much better now. But when I first met him, it was bad. Just because, like, I remember when he actually visited my college, even like interacting with some of my friends, like he couldn't bring himself to actually, even though he was like in like a group of my own friends in their apartment, he couldn't bring himself to actually just like bring forth a conversation, or just like address a conversation, or like get involved and talk something. And he ended up isolating himself, just away from everybody, because even though he wanted to interact, he couldn't. He couldn't. And one of my friends spent a lot of time with him, because I was cooking, girl. I was in the kitchen being that perfect housewife, because girl, that's me. But yeah, she like spent a lot of time with him and tried to like make conversation, tried to like really like make him feel comfortable, which is great. Um, and a lot of people have just really bad social anxiety that prevents them from going out and interacting and having experiences with people, and actually trying to meet people and just getting involved in certain people's lives and certain people's experiences. And then they just end up isolating themselves, and then they just have that feeling of missing out, because they feel like they're not good enough to really interact with other people, or just be that be social. And that's sad. I really think that is, because I feel like everybody, no matter how bad someone's situation is, you can you do belong where you want to belong. Whether you're just like an outcast looking in on the in crowd and the cool kids, I don't think it's not a thing now. I haven't been to high school in like 10 years, so I have no fucking idea how that system works anymore, the class system. According to Homecoming, Spider-Man Homecoming apparently doesn't exist anymore. That's why they don't have bullies anymore, and everybody's a fucking nerd, which takes away the whole point of fucking Spider-Man. But I'll get into that later. But yeah, a lot of people do struggle with this like social anxiety and depression and just anxiety in general, just like these small things that just make you feel anxious and make you feel just at war with yourself, with not being able to accomplish just small things, or not being able to just do simple tasks, and blaming yourself because of it, just like feeling that sense of worthlessness and feeling that sense of doubt, and just like not feeling good enough. And that's a whole big thing I had too. Just like not feeling good enough. Like I didn't feel good enough in my last relationship after it ended. I feel like he didn't want me because I wasn't good enough, and that led me to be a fucking crazy obsessive stalker and just like overexert myself to like make sure. And this is like a lot of people that I have like close relationships with. It's just like after a while, like I feel like if I feel like I'm losing somebody, I overdo it. I always overkill it. Like I'd be overly nice, and it's like I'd be overly supportive, and just like I'm basically just overbearing. And it's annoying. It's annoying, and I do these things, and I'm just like, oh my god, what the fuck is wrong with me? Because I have that feeling, that fear of losing people, and it sucks. It really does. And the thing about like having fear, whether it's just like the fear of losing somebody, the fear of not being good enough, the fear of doing something awkward in front of somebody, it's just that it's something that is worse up here in your head. it's worse in your head than it actually is in real life. Like, um, I end up like me and Max don't talk anymore, and I'm still here. I'm still living. I'm still fine. I just made a scruff profile, and girl, I hate it. But I've actually met a lot of cool people on there, so that's cool. Like, you guys are, like, if you see me on scruff, I'm just like, just shout me out. I'll be like, hey girl, how you doing? I'm bad at conversations, I'm bad at texting, so if you don't hear from me for like 3 weeks, it's normal. But yeah, a lot of things with mental health is just being able to understand yourself, understand your capabilities, understand what you're able to do, and just set small goals so you can actually set yourself up for achievements that will make yourself feel so much better. Just do small daily tasks and small things that actually help you feel like a person. Because a lot of times when people do have issue with mental health, they just don't feel like people. They don't feel like an actual functional human being. They don't feel like they deserve to be a functional human being. Um, and it's hard to actually deal with, and it's hard to actually go through the notions of getting on track. And none of this is easy. No, even setting a goal for yourself, even like a small thing, it's not easy when you have depression. It's not easy when you have social anxiety. It's not easy for anything. But just try to make the baby step. That's all you can really do is just try. Try to do the thing one step at a time, one small step at a time. Like if you have social anxiety and you want to you want to interact with like some coworkers after work, just do something small. Just don't go for the whole big thing, because that's a huge thing for like someone with social anxiety. Just like putting yourself in that kind of social situation. Start small. Talk to somebody new, or just try to get involved in a conversation at work. Just a small thing, and when you feel uncomfortable, back out of it, because you've already accomplished the first step. It's just like making the conversation start. That's all you really need to do. For someone with depression, just the small things that make you feel like you belong and you are a smart person and you are a good person. Um, just small goals like that. Making your bed is good. Holding a door open for somebody. Smiling, making somebody smile. Like just the small things in life, they just make you feel accomplished, make you feel just like you deserve to live. And wow, I just got personal because that's the shit I do. Cool. Cool. You learned something new about me. That's cool. Yeah, like I do these small tasks because it makes me feel self-worth. And that was a big thing with my YouTube channel. Honestly, that's a big thing with, if you follow me on Instagram, my stupid stories. I like making people laugh because it makes me feel like I do have a purpose. I do have a sense of belonging. And I do know now how to balance um, entertaining others and making time for myself, other than just putting all my effort into being there for everyone else and putting myself like so in the backseat that I'm basically falling out the trunk. Now it's an equal balance. Like I'm able to help other people and help myself at the same time, and just like be able to find that perfect balance. And it did not take it was not easy doing that. Like I first had like my first episodic breakdown when I was 12, and that was I think that was like the worst one. And I'm 27 now, so a good like 15 years of practice. But that's all it is. You have to practice before you're able to like really like perfect your craft. That's anything, whether you're an artist, whether you're a magician, a musician. Also, like that's a good thing with like helping your mental health too. Getting a hobby, because it's a series of small goals. It's just trying to perfect something, and it's able to sometimes it's very therapeutic. Like you're able to actually like just like really focus in on something and really just do something that helps you just motivate to want to do something more and be more of yourself and to be more of a person. Yeah. So I know a lot of people out there are struggling with their mental health, regardless of what they're going through, whether it's depression, anxiety, social anxiety, bipolar, schizophrenia. These are all things that need to be addressed. And I was just telling you mostly my personal experience with my mental health and depression. I know everyone else is going through their own thing. I've had friends and family members with schizophrenia, and I know that's not easy, and bipolar as well too. And I know there's a whole bias against um, what people think these issues are. And I just want to let everyone know that they do mean something to somebody. They do mean something to everybody that they interact with. Just the small interactions in life, you mean something to that person. Holding a door open for that person, you made that person's day. Just like smiling at somebody, you help them out, because if you made someone smile, you know what, you made their day just a little bit better. And I feel like, if everyone just like can just do a little bit more to help somebody else, or just like do something small for somebody, it really does make you feel good inside, and really does help you out, and just like really make you feel a sense of self-worth. And I guess that's what I'm going to say for this video, because it was kind of a downer. I mean, downer or never, but it's something that's real that we need to talk about, and people need to talk about, and people need to really be more social with. And then there's people who like fucking, this is just a quick thing, people who fucking try to glorify having a mental illness, or just having poor mental health, just like glorify it just for attention, which was a whole big thing when everybody in the world thought they had, or like would claim that they had depression or social anxiety. Like, oh my god, there was a party and I chose not to go invited because it's like I didn't feel like it. I have social anxiety. Love me. That was a whole big thing. And it's just like no one wants to have something with them mentally that just like prevents them from actually interacting with people, or prevents them from waking up in the morning, or prevents them from doing something. No one wants that. And the fact that people are like glorifying that, just like, oh my god, this is like the cool trendy thing right now, just like I am fucking hip, is mind-boggling and honestly disgusting. Like, you shouldn't say you're depressed just to have attention. You shouldn't just say these things just so people can want you and love you. No. These things are things that identify a person. Well, it's not their complete identity, but it's something that helps them identify with themselves, and something that they have to deal with, and something that they have to live with, and something that they have to try to, practice in order to actually, get to a sense of this very helpful, meaningful, healthy, whole mental life. So if you are struggling with anything for real, honestly, go talk to somebody. Talking to somebody makes everything better. Like, you can do it. Just talk to somebody, a professional, a friend, somebody who knows you, somebody who can support you, somebody who like really can be there for you, and just do something small for yourself to make yourself feel better. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say, because I talked for a very long time, and it's sweaty. Oh my god, it's so hot in here. Alright guys, leave a comment below on something that you're going through, something small, or just a small story about your life. But how are you doing? What's going on? I know I took a break. Part of it is because of just like, I did have like the my own thing going on with mental health. Other part is because this is not my girl. This ain't my job. I don't get paid for this. As much as I like making videos, and I would like to do this much more than I have been, I do have my own, like, I work full-time, and then after my full-time job, I go straight to doing my freelance work, where I do freelance photography, graphic design, and videography, and video editing, so I don't have a lot of time, unfortunately, but I'm trying to get back to it. Anyway, guys, I will see you guys later. Stay awesome. I'm sweating.